All right, everybody. I'm out here in Africa, outside under a tree, looking at some goats. And there's seriously cows and goats all over the place, just randomly. It's pretty interesting. But I was supposed to go home yesterday to the beautiful land of America, the God-blessed state of Texas, to be exact. But I am staying in Africa for an extra 7 days. If you would like to guess why, you can do so on your own. But yeah, I'll just come out and say it. I popped positive on my PCR test the day before flying out. So they have a 7-day, thing where you have to test negative and all that stuff. So staying here for 7 days, a little bummed about it. But also, I know that God is going to use this time for his glory and for his purpose and for a reason. So I'm using it as an opportunity to begin a book that I wanted to write about Africa, which it was supposed to be called 10 Days in Africa, but now it's going to be pushed to 21 Days in Africa. So that's kind of a funny change of the book already. So it's going to be good. Hopefully this audio sounds good. I am on my headphones out here under a tree. Did not bring my podcast gear out here. So sorry for the poor quality if it is that. But man, I will say, I was thinking about it. I went on a little walk, just wrote an episode for the pod on my computer and just wanted to come stretch my back out a little bit. And I got the idea to just do a little update for you guys via audio, since that is, I feel like, the best way to communicate. Social media is so scattered and blasted with so many things. I just really like audio. It's what I grew up on with radio and stuff. So it's been great to be able to have that outlet and just having people that actually care and listen and grow in their faith as I grow in mine. But I was thinking as walking that, man, life is a lot easier to deal with when your faith is strong. Like when things go wrong, it is a lot easier on my heart and my mind, especially when I know that God is going to use things for his good, for my good, and for the situation at hand, and for the other lives that are out here, So as bummed as I was yesterday when we got to the airport and got turned away, with suitcases packed and all, drove like 2 hours through Africa traffic to get there, and then didn't get back home until like 10 o'clock. It was crazy, man. It was a crazy long day yesterday, but just realizing that, all right, use this time wisely. Don't sulk in your situation. Like, use it as motivation and fuel to get done some things that you're supposed to get done. And one of those things is writing the book about Africa, because it's been wild here. I'm telling you, like, the amount of stuff that's happened here has been so surreal, and just the experience, man. A lot of writing comes from experience. A lot of authors that are at their best, they live their lives and then they write about it. And it's called empirical wisdom. Shout out Jeff DeWeer for kind of teaching me about that. It's in regards to, like, your experiences shape you and just kind of shape your thoughts and the way that you live your life. And coming out here has definitely been something good for my heart. It's been good for my mind and my perspective on the way it is back home. And just being grateful for the life that we live in America, man. These people struggle out here, man. It's a third world country, and it shows, like, their houses are built out of sticks and bricks, and they fall apart. There's roofs with holes in them. They cook outside in what they call a kitchen. I would call, a place to store your junk, honestly. It's crazy. And not to be, crass or anything, but that's just a reality. We have it so good. They don't even have fridges out here. It's like they don't like drinks with ice. They drink their Cokes when they're blessed enough to have a Coke. They drink it warm. So there's so much to share about everything out here. We met with some widows. One of them was 100 years old and was dancing when we came, because she loves my mother-in-law and father-in-law, because they've been a blessing to her. And she was dancing, and she fell on me while dancing, and I was like, hey! She threw it back, man, it was just funny. And there's just a lot to share, man. A lot of a lot has happened here. I don't want to give away too much because I want y'all to read the book, because I think it'll be, and that's the thing, man. I've been in my family now for going on 5 years. My wife and I will be married in 5 years, coming up this April. And to tell you the truth, my wife has been here like 5 times now. And my mother-in-law, I would always ask questions about Subi. And until you come, you really don't know. You really don't understand. You don't grasp the weight of like what is going on here at this ministry out here. So I want to write in a way that would bring a light to this place, and just a light to Africa in general, and just realizing that they have so much joy for the Lord here, yet their situation is just so hard. They never know where their next meal is coming from. They eat foods that just fill their bellies. They eat with their hands. You know, it's they just got phones out here and they have to pay for airtime, you know, so it's like if they have a phone, they got to find money to pay for like their minutes, like back in the day, you know. There's no addresses, there's no mailboxes. Very few people have vehicles. There's lots of like taxis and like little scooters that take people around town. Everybody sells the same things. Everybody sells like oranges or like oranges, lemons, thinking potatoes, and this thing called chapati, which is just kind of like tortillas. Their bread out here is very limited, and just the food out here is very limited, you know. So it's just been wild to experience. We've been obviously at a place that's, you know, safe, and we have all our needs taken care of here, which is a great thing and a blessing. But there's so many, you know, you leave this village, or you leave this Subi, to be honest, like the school and the compound that we're at, and you go out to the village, and man, it's just a struggle. But luckily we put, my in-laws put electricity and water out here, so it actually grew the village quite a bit, and people have little businesses out here and stuff like that, so they're able to still gather enough money to survive for the day. But it's all survival out here, and when you're living in a place of survival, it's a different energy, you know. It's every day is resourceful, and to be honest, man, there's just not a lot of opportunities out here. There's not businesses, you know what I mean. There's not corporations to give you jobs. There's not very much gig work other than the taxis and selling stuff on the side of the street. You know, it's the education system here is flawed and broken and whatnot. So that's why they started the school out here, to educate the kids so that they can have a better future. And right now, they've been locked down twice here, where they couldn't even go to school in Africa, you know. So we have the kids coming back. They just got announced December 31st that they can come back to school, and on January 10th. So the teachers, the parents, and everybody that's involved in the school system out here for Subi had 11-day notice to get everything going, you know. So the desks were put up. The students don't have uniforms. All their old uniforms that they had from the past have gotten so small on them because they've grown so much since the lockdowns. So that's why if you guys see me on Facebook and Instagram, we've been trying to raise money for the school uniforms, because the parents can't afford them because they haven't been able to work since everything's been going on with this COVID nonsense. So, you know, COVID has affected a lot of people in America, but at the same time, bro, it's affected so much more people overseas, like to the point where it's just like, man, it's just so heavy. And like they were already struggling, you know, and it's just like just pushing them down further. And you can really tell like classism exists here, as far as like the upper class and then just low class. There's no middle class. And if you want me to be honest, like a lot of my studies since being here is like seeing that America is falling into the same patterns of pushing people into the slave class and having the elites, you know, the wealth gap is huge. It's separated so much so that they pretend that wage rates are increasing. Oh, you're making $15 an hour, but in reality, it's like inflation is at 7%. And just the numbers that they tell you is way higher. It's probably about 12 to 15%, and it's only increasing. So that affects us, the people that are, you know, middle class and working. You know, it doesn't affect the people that are ahead of the corporations and have a whole bunch of stock and this and that. But you guys get my drift. But classism is being pushed around the world. They want to be the Fed and the big corporations and elites. They want to have the power to lend them money, and they want to own everything. So it's crazy, but I don't want to get into that. That's kind of financial stuff, but I do want to just talk about like that fundraising thing and just telling you guys I'm very grateful because you know, dog, you know, nobody like to ask for money, B. All right, but when you see that $100 here literally feeds people for months because of how the US dollar has power here, and you can just see the smile on their faces when you drop bags of food off at their house, and you can just see them fall to their knees and say thank you, like for a big bag of rice that costs in America, like if you sent $10 here, it could seriously feed somebody for a month. It's crazy. So raising the money for the school uniforms puts a big blessing on not only the kids' face, where they have clean clothes and can wear the logo of their school with pride, but it also puts a big smile on the face of the parents because they have school fees and they can afford those school fees. And that's why Subi also has a sponsorship program where good heart Americans and believers in God and just good people, man, they be carrying a lot of the load for the sponsorship program at least, and that's only $30 a month. And you have a relationship with the kid that you sponsor. They send you letters and update you how school is going. You send them pictures of your family, and they do like yearly goodie bags around Christmas time, and it's just a cool thing, man. It's really making a difference, you know. And the Bible talks a lot about, you know, taking care of the orphans, the widows, and the sick and the poor, and it's like that's all out here, guys. That's all out here. So it's been incredible to come out here and just help raise some funds for them. I've had a lot of people contribute so far for the GoFundMe and just donating to the SubiProject.com donate page as well, which is even better because that goes directly without the fees and stuff like that of the GoFundMe. So I hate asking for money, guys, but at the same time, it's like, bro, if I'm not even obedient enough to ask for help for this place, then how am I going to be obedient to anything else God calls me to do? You know, and how like kind of, because that's the ego thing too. Like if you're over here just afraid to ask for money because you don't want people to think certain things about you or like offend people and stuff like that or annoy people, it's like that's all ego. You know, it's like if you're gonna get salty at me for asking for help for like African kids like that are like struggling out here, like then so be it. You know what I mean? But that's more of a me thing than a you thing. It's just kind of me vocalizing my uncomfortability with asking for help. But we already had an episode about that. If you guys heard that one, that was a good one. But yeah, man, God blessed me with 2 Fiverr orders in the last 24 hours since being stuck here. That was super cool. So obviously, you know, 2 when we've been getting super low numbers the last couple months, 2 in 24 hours is a big deal. So that was awesome to see. Canceled my flight. We're still waiting to see if we're going to be able to get the refund or what when it comes to that. So praying that all is smooth. We literally did it like 2 hours before the flight, which was wild. Had like no internet connection at the restaurant we went to. Oh man, it was hectic. But woke up, got a good night's sleep. It's weird being 9 hours on the other side of the world. My wife and I talk for like a few hours, like maybe 2-3 hours every day, and then I go to sleep. So she was bummed. She's ready for me to come home. She's 29 weeks pregnant. Malachi's 2, a toddler. We're not even in our own space yet. So she's at my in-laws' house right now waiting for me to get back, and we're still trying to get this house before the baby comes, and so this just delays things even further. But we're trying our best, man, to just be faithful and just trust in God and wait on the Lord to come through for us. And it also helps coming here to just kind of realize, like, yo, your problems are not as big of a deal as they could be, you know. But don't get me wrong, problems are problems, and that was part of my message that I preached this past Sunday to people in Africa, because it's like, man, it's hard to come here as an American and be like, what can I preach about, you know, like, what? But also at the same time, it's like, man, they really think America is like heaven on earth. And granted, it's dope, but America has problems just like Africa has problems. Not like the same problems, but where I come from, problems are problems. Can I get an amen for that? But yeah, man, if you're listening to this, much respect to you for tuning in on this crappy microphone that I'm on. I'm outside. You probably hear the wind. Probably hear my feet walking on leaves, but yeah, man. What else can I tell you guys about this place, man? Yeah, man, the kids are dope, man. They're just, it's interesting because kids, I don't know, I feel like I've always had like a good rapport with kids, like because I'm silly, I'm goofy. And I think I've realized one of my favorite reasons I enjoy children is because they don't judge you. They don't have like this pre-existing notion in their head of like what a white person is or what American is or what, and that's me speaking in African kids terms, but even in America, it's like there's kids that are just, they're just vibing. I think kids are cool because they're just vibing, and it's fun to be like silly with them and joke with them and take them seriously and not act like they're a nuisance and bothersome, and just speak that truth and that life into them. And so like this being out here has really opened my eyes to like, man, kids are just fun, man. They're cool to be around. They're cool to learn from too, man. This kid Moses out here has blown me away with his just like spiritual wisdom. And I'm gonna write like a little thing about him in my book because he's been like my favorite kid out here. Probably because he speaks the best English, to be honest with you guys. I can actually understand what he's saying, and he can understand me, and we just have good talks, but he's just over here just spiritually wise, man, and I just feel bad, it's like you want to help everybody when you're out here. You just want to take out your money out of your pocket and just be like, here, you, like, it goes so far, here, you take it. But man, it's weird because there's not like rules here, but there is things you don't do, like there's 220 kids. You can't just pull out money out of your pocket and give it to one of the kids and be like, here, go buy the bike that you want, or go give this to your family. As much as you want to do that, it doesn't set up a good look for everybody else that goes to the school. Because like then one kid finds out, tells other kids, next thing you know, they're all going to be asking for the same thing or being jealous. Like they're so jealous out here, guys, to the point of like if a kid gets a bike, other kids will slash the tires on the bike because they didn't get a bike. Like jealousy is so real out here. It's a big spirit out here. Even like with adults, like Juliet, my sister-in-law, we had like an introduction for her to meet her soon-to-be husband. Like it was kind of like a culturally traditional thing for what you do before you get married in Uganda. And she had like the celebration. It was a party. She got gifts, all this, right? Tell me how people that went to this party stole her stuff. Like, just took it and ran. So the jealousy out here is real. The need for things out here is real. But also it's like it's so interesting. It's the yin and yang principle. I really believe this. That things are so bad here as far as poverty, so extreme, but the joy of the Lord here is so extreme as well. The suffering here is so extreme, but the faith is so strong here. It's so interesting. And the dependence on God is strong here too. It's like their provider really is God. It's like they rely on Him for everything here, for clothing, for food, for jobs. And it's just, man, we have it so good in America. And even, man, the fact, like, here's something that's just like you don't even think about, like, at all. Because we're so used to, like, goodness. The roads, like, are so nice in America. Like, there's bumps on the road sometimes and it's frustrating and you're like, why don't they fix this pothole, stinking Greg Abbott? We just get salty at the governor. Why are these roads bumpy? Do we really need speed bumps in this neighborhood? But in Africa, the roads are so terrible. Like, I'm talking, you're bumping in the car. You're bouncing around like a penny in a piggy bank the whole time you're in the car. I'm over here holding on to the handle for dear life, like I'm in the Amazon, just, we're gonna go see the dinosaurs, right? Like, it is wild out here. And like yesterday, we're on the way to the airport and we took a detour to see the main pastor. His name's David. The pastor David's house that he's building out here. And he's like, we're going to take a small detour so I can show you the house. And I was like, do we have to? Can you just show us a picture? Is it on Zillow? There's no Zillow out here, guys. There's no mailboxes. There's definitely no Zillow, right? So we take the detour, and bro, we're going up like the most bumpy road ever, like to see this dude's house. And I'm like so salty because we're on the way to the airport. Not gonna lie to you guys, I already knew I popped positive for the vid, and I was just gonna, try to okie doke my way onto the flight. It did not work. Got busted. But don't want to give up too much information about that. But hey, shoot or shoot. You know what I mean? Trying to get home and see my family. All right. But anyway, so we took the detour, and I was already kind of like salty. And also, everybody like wants to ride out with us wherever we go. So like we're like some immigrants in a van, bro. Like we're smushed up in there. There's so many people. It's hot up in there. So it's definitely like we're out here on a missions trip for sure, bro. Like it's just been wild. So I'm grateful for the roads back home. I'm grateful for addresses. The food out here, like my wife likes the food out here. I think she's crazy though, because the food out here has been kind of trash, to be honest. Like I'm a big fan of rice and beans, but like when you have rice and beans that have like African spices on it, like too many nights in a row, you just start to feel like, bro, I don't want any food, and it's like, they're so carb heavy. Like there ain't no protein out here. Oh man. So I thought I was going to lose weight out here, but my body don't like carbs. So I guess we'll lose weight another time. Oh man, I feel like I'm rambling now, but hopefully you guys have enjoyed this update episode for you guys. It was more so just to get this kind of off my chest about everything that's been happening here. And also, I haven't put out an episode in a couple weeks. I put out the one with Lisa. Hopefully you guys liked that one. It was a good conversation. But man, I wrote a couple heaters, man, that I'm excited to get home and record for you guys. Some really good ones, man. So I'm hoping that we can grow the podcast this year in 2022. We've been kind of like at a little bit of a stagnant place lately. We've been getting like, what are the numbers recently? Like, 40 to 50 episodes, 40 to 50 listens an episode, when we were at like, probably like 80 to 120 per episode, in the middle of 2021. I don't know what happened. I'm not like worried about it or anything like that. I know that people come and go and whatnot, but I just want to, hopefully we could take it up a level and just reach more people. I'm grateful for the people that be listening still, man. You already know that's the truth. And it's just been cool to be out here and preach the word, man, and being on stage. Let me talk about that for a second. That was a really cool experience, man. We had the first day we got here, I gave a message at like the celebration for New Year's Eve, and it was really cool. I did a sermon about the woman with the issue with blood and reaching out and touching God, Jesus's robe to be more specific. And it was just a good message, man. And I had a translator up there, Pastor David, he translated for me. And it was cool because 3 kids accepted Christ. So that was a cool feeling because that was my first time seeing that. And I was actually the one at the end of the sermon asking, if like you want to accept Christ today, raise your hand. And like the oldest teenage girl did so first. She had dreads with some blue tips in the dreads. It was kind of funny because she had really cool hair. And I don't know why it was funny. It was just kind of surprising because a lot of the girls out here have like shaved heads. And she had over here a full head of hair with blue tips. I was like, oh, hey. Anyway, so that was awesome. And then I got to preach the Sunday before we left, the day after we got the vid test. And so I preached. I was late. We were late coming back to the church because it took so long to go get the vid test. And then came back and was excited to preach. Had a great message about giving glory to God. And the energy was really good in the room. Had a lot of people come up and just show love afterwards. And I even asked people like what their favorite part was, and they remembered their favorite part like on the spot. And even my brother-in-law to be, Juliet's husband to be, named Elijah, he's a prophet, and he came up to me and was like, you are a great writer, you should write a book. And I'm like, bro, that's confirmation. And he said it right in front of my father-in-law, who I've also been talking to about the book and whatnot. So it's been cool. So yeah, man, I'm excited because I started working on a book about my faith journey, but I feel like it's not done yet. You know what I mean? It's not like I have a few chapters that are still to come, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't feel ready yet. So one of the chapters is called, on the book I was already writing, is called On the Other Side of the Pond. And it's all about trying to get into like our house and how much of a like process that has been. And just, there's so many spiritual lessons in waiting on this house. I'm telling you, it's been crazy, right? So I want to share that story, but I'm not in the house yet, so I can't really write about it until it's finished for the most part. I'm taking notes and stuff, but anyway, don't want to get too wordy on that. But anyway, so the book I'm writing now is obviously about Africa. I'm starting it today. I kind of wanted to do the podcast to kind of give myself a accountability, because sometimes you feel like, all right, I'm going to do this, and then you're like, you find like an excuse not to do it, because I don't know, it's just a big commitment. But so it's going to be called 10 Days in Africa. Now I think it's going to be called 21 Days in Africa. My mother-in-law gave me a funny idea to like put 10 days in Africa and then cross out the 10 and put 21, because I think that'd be hilarious because of us just getting stuck here. But yeah, man, that's what happens. That's a risk you take when you come to a foreign land during the times of COVID. And have you guys seen that they came out and told the truth, the CDC, about the comorbidities and just how people that died with COVID instead of from COVID, all because like Biden's poll numbers are dropping, so the truth is coming out now, and midterms are coming up, so they're panicking. And because they couldn't pass that bill, the Build Back Better bill, which had elections where they were going to federally control all elections, so therefore they can't cheat this time around as easily, especially now that Trump exposed that the possibility is real. So like they're scrambling now. So like that's good news though, because like I feel that the truth is going to continue to come out, and it's been nice because your boy been preaching about this stuff for a while now. So it's nice to see some validation on the other side when they start admitting the truth and stuff. Now they're saying the vaccine doesn't stop transmission from the virus spreading. So that's hilarious too. Not hilarious in a way that's like rude or anything, but just hilarious because like they legit censor ivermectin and hydroxychloroquine as being, COVID treatments, which they are, and they prevent people from dying. But they censored all that so that you would get the vax and the boosters, and now they're recanting on their previous statements, which is what they've been doing all along. And I hope that everybody that listens to this show is awake to what has been happening, not just with the vaccines, but with just the globalism and global agenda. Global economy is falling. Oil is going to continue to rise in price, which means that all other things will rise in price because of transporting the goods from one part of the country to the other part of the country because of trucks. They burn a lot of fuel. So as gas goes up, food will go up. Food is already going up. So just be ready, guys. Make sure you're not spending your money now on things that don't matter. Make sure you have some stored away for when things rise and your paychecks don't rise. Recommend investing. I don't like doing this, but I'll say it. I recommend investing in some oil stocks that give good dividends, and it's just going to continue ripping through the roof, especially now that everybody knows what's going on with COVID. The world's waking up. Travel is going to come back, and everything is made with oil. Everything you could think of: water bottles, footballs, plastics, everything you could think of is made with oil. So it's not going anywhere. Even the batteries inside of electronic vehicles are made with oil. So keep that in mind. Oil is used to burn electricity. Electricity isn't going anywhere. Solar is not the solution, at least right now, with the way it's shaping out to be. So just be smart, man. Just be ready to go. Follow what the Fed is doing. If the Fed says they're going to raise interest rates, chances are they're not going to. They're known to say one thing and do the other. So that means cheap money is going to still be out there, which means capitalize on that. It means the markets, they might be down right now, but they're not going to be down for a while, or forever, I should say. So think long term. I've always been a big voice for silver and Bitcoin and gold, but that's just because once the debt market bubble pops, those are going to be the things that are going to be valuable, commodity heavy and whatnot. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to tell my people now, like I've been telling with the vaccine stuff and the COVID nonsense, but I don't want to get too, I always get too off topic out here. So apologize about that. But at the same time, man, it's just like what's going on right now. And it's good to be aware. It's good to have voices that are a little bit different than the mainstream media narrative. CNN, their ratings have tanked because they've got exposed for so many things, like playing with oneself on a Zoom call and then still having their job. Fascinating. And then, yeah, so many other things, Tapper, Jake Tapper the other day, getting accused of all sorts of things. But yeah, man, it's the world we're living in right now. The it's been going on for a while. This sinister evilness, screwing the middle class, screwing the people that work hard for the sense of gain for the elites and the corporations. You know, BlackRock buying up all single family homes at 20% over market value, and then making the nation become a nation of renters. So therefore you can't own property, so therefore you can't build wealth. So yeah, man, all this is happening right in front of us, and I just want us to be on the other side of it, or on the correct side of it, and we can also capitalize from it. You know, we can make sure we know what's going on, and we can be good stewards of money in a way that protects not only you but your family for generations to come. I don't want my people that listen to the show taking on excess credit debts, pay down those debts as fast as possible. So yeah, man, we're about 30 minutes deep on this. I was thinking it was gonna be like 10 minutes, but lots of updates for you guys. What else, man? So yeah, man, that's basically, I don't want to go too long on this thing, but I just want to kind of bring some light to the situation and just kind of fill you in what's going on, that your boy won't be back in the States for at least another 7 days. And I'm just praying that nobody else in my mother-in-law and sister stayed behind. My father-in-law went back because he had to go to work. But I'm praying that none of the other ones that are with me right now pop positive. So please pray for me on that. Pray that we're able to get home back safely, full refund of the flight. So you guys have been awesome. We raised all the money to get here to Africa, which has been incredible, guys. So cool. Even I had to think and get so the ticket price was $18.50, right? And I had to get a yellow fever shot to come here. And you guys know I don't really rock with vaccines like that. So I tried everything in my power to get out of that one. But luckily, the yellow fever has been around for a while, and they're not manipulating it like they are with this mRNA vaccine and stuff like that. So I did my research and felt a little bit more comfortable with it. I still didn't want to get it. I almost okey-doked it by saying I had an egg allergy. But I just went through with it because your boy didn't want to get malaria or yellow fever out here. So it made sense to take that. And they take it really serious out here, the yellow fever one, because people really do be dying from that out here. So got that. That was $200. And then there was another thing that came up. Oh, we had to pay for all the COVID tests, which that is a money grab in itself. Oh my gosh. Like, we've paid so much money for tests already out here. And then you have to pay for them to test you at the airport. You have to pay for the test beforehand. You have to pay for the test before you leave. If you test positive, you have to pay for it again. So we've just been spending money out here. So luckily, what the whole thing of me saying that is that we raised like, I think $300 or like, I think it was like $500 extra than our goal. So that was incredible because that went to all of the travel expenses and stuff like that. And it was super helpful to my family. So real talk, thank you so much. We've been, I think I told you guys on the other episode, we've just been in a little bit of a lull season when it comes to income. But I know God's going to sustain, and He's faithful. Like I said, He already blessed with 2 Fiverr orders today. And then, you know, we got the shirts are being shipped out in a couple weeks, and just trying to come up with solutions to not have to, you know, go back and get a job when God has me on another mission, clearly, you know. And I don't want to how can I say this without coming off once you, like, I'll just be honest, man. This is a very honest episode, as always. Once you get to a place of like being your own boss and having that time to do the things that, you know, you feel led to do and called to do, once you have that time open for yourself and you're able to see the fruit of those blessings and the fruit of that time and just use that time wisely. Like, I'm not over here chilling on the couch, you know what I mean? Like, your boy out here like creating, innovating ideas, investing. Like, there's things that I'm able to do now because I've detached myself from being an employee. And I don't feel like God would take me all the way here to this level where I'm at right now for me just to go back and get a job for income. And I read somewhere that was very powerful. It says America's greatest addiction, or I don't even think it was America. I think it said people's greatest addiction is their monthly income. Because it's like people feel they can't detach themselves from the money that they have coming in all the time because they become dependent on it because they start spending like that. I've always been one of those people that has spent very wisely. I've always been a good steward with money. I've always found a way to make money from doing different things: comedy, writing, making shirts, bracelets. What else have I done? Like gig economy stuff, producing shows. Like there's ways to make money in this country that we live in America. There's a way to innovate. There's a way to hustle. There's money out there to be made, and there's just things that I feel like I don't want to be somebody that I want. Honestly, when you're trying to lead people to Christ, you want your life to back up what Christ calls all of us to do, which is, be good stewards of money, spread the gospel, be faithful to Him, trust in the Lord to provide for every need. There's so many things that He promises us once we faithfully surrender it all to Him. And being able to do that has allowed me to feel like I'm living in a way that is the light. It's like, it's hard to inspire people when you're doing what everybody else is doing, and it's hard to motivate people to think outside the box if you're living in the same box as everybody else. So not to say that a job is, a bad thing at all by any means. It's just not what my calling is. I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel purpose there. I felt very redundant. I felt very constrained, especially at my last spot. I had to wear the mask. My boss was like talking about, are you going to get the vax? Like, but buddy, like I already told you like my stance on everything. Like I was very clear with you, and like the way that all went down was all for a reason. It led me to the RV. It led me to taking a chance. It led me to making really solid money on Fiverr in 2021, which was incredible because I was just writing for a living, and I've retained some of my clients from there. I'm getting some new ones back, and the gift that He gave me of writing is still there. Like that wasn't taken away. He took away my gigs on Fiverr, but He didn't take away my favor. And He probably only took away my gigs on Fiverr because I needed Him to. Like I had a lot of stuff going on. I was trying to get ready and prepared for us to be in the house. I was making moves for that. And also I write wedding speeches as a majority of my work on there. There ain't no weddings happening in November and December, for the most part. That's not wedding season. So it's like realizing this has all been very good and healthy for my growing in my faith and in just my progress as a believer in Christ. And it's just, I want to encourage you guys because I know, and what's awesome about a job too? I will say this, a lot of people work jobs that are their calling, that are their dream job. Like that's awesome. That's so cool. But like at the same time, it's like society sometimes feels the need to like make you feel like you have to be doing something that they tell you to do, and I'm not gonna feed into that, and I'm gonna speak on it. I'm gonna vocalize it because there's obviously an internal struggle that I feel with it sometimes, especially when the door's knocking and I know that Ezekiel's about to be born. I'm about to have 3 kids before 30. I'm about to have a mortgage. I'm about to do all the things, and I just want to be smart, man. I just want to make sure that I set my family up the way God wants me to, as well as, making sure that I'm able to do His will instead of the world's will, and that's just as real as I can get, Obviously, I would love to have a steady income. Like, that'd be incredible. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. And I understand why it is the greatest addiction. I get it. It's a nice addiction. You're like, hey, we could buy that because I got money coming in next week. Or, oh yeah, we can go on that trip because I got money coming in next week. But when you're dependent on God as your Jireh, your Jehovah, when you're over here like, yo, Lord, when you gonna bless with an order? When you gonna come through with a Fiverr? When you gonna come through with more shirt orders? Or when you gonna come through with book sales? That's when you're like, all right, that's all on God. It's not necessarily on man. I mean, you have supporters for sure, but God stirs the hearts of your supporters to support you. And that's real. Like with the GoFundMe thing, I almost didn't do it because I felt like it was too late. People don't really care. I've already asked people to buy shirts for the season 2 Armani Vibing with Jesus shirts. I'm already like over here asking people to listen to the show. It's like, how much more can they do? But it's also how much more can God do? Because God stirs the hearts of the people that are going to help you out. God is the one that uses you to help them and bring value to their life so that they can bring value to your life as well. God put them in your life for a reason. It's like you're to bless them and they're to bless you in ways that you need. So, bro, obviously a lot's been shaken up. A lot been happening out here. I feel good about it. I mean, I'm looking at some mountains right now. I mean, they're African mountains, so they ain't that big or nothing like that. But I'm out here in the greenery. It's very jungle vibes. It's the same weather all year round. So it's freezing back in Texas right now, and it feels good here. So it's a blessing, man. So we're gonna treat it like a blessing. We're going to write this book. We're going to write these orders that we had come through. We're just going to keep, being a light for Jesus. Hopefully, maybe we'll get to preach again on Sunday. We'll see. I'll throw my hat in the ring, see if David wants another week off, and then get back up there and do it all over again, and the kids just started school on January 10th, so we're going to pop in, see how they're doing. So there's lots to be done still. The work is never finished, and just realize that I couldn't do what I'm doing without you guys. It'd be very, very hard to have the motivation and the validation and the affirmation that we're doing the right thing by pursuing God instead of pursuing worldly things, because like I see sometimes, man, somebody will post like a video of like them doing stand-up, and I'm like, dang, I miss that, dog. I miss the feeling of being on stage, getting that big laugh, having fun, cracking jokes with the crowd, doing crowd work, man. I miss it. But also it's like, no. God called you to tell people about his son. It's like, could I do that in comedy though? Can I make a joke about Jesus? Jesus' brother James? Like, what was up with him? Like, what did he do? How come he wasn't blessed? Was he jealous? Oh man, I'm getting silly over here. But at the same time, like, it's sometimes tempting, man, to go back and just start doing, stand up. I did it once. I went to Mad Hatter, did a set. I was working on some jokes for a guy on Fiverr, and I was like, let me go try these jokes out, have some fun, hang out with people that I used to do comedy with. And it was a good time, but at the same time, that's not like my purpose of what I need to be doing every day, and it's like every day I'm trying to get closer to God, running after his heart, trying to write these books, trying to write these episodes, trying to just bring the word to the people, and just keep growing, man. That's what it's about, growing in our faith. So I hope you're growing in yours. I hope this year is a blessed one for you guys. I hope it's prosperous. I hope you're able to handle the situations and the storms that you go through, knowing that you got God on your side. And just realize, man, that people have it way worse somewhere else in the world. And if you threw all your problems into a big pile, as did everybody else in the world, I guarantee you'd pick up your pile again. So just remember that. Just have faith, man. And also, being out here showed me that, man, we need to slow it down, bro. We're so busy in America. Oh my gosh, we're so busy. So slow it down a little bit. It's easier to hear the voice of God when you slow it down. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Write down your goals. Write down 20 goals and then do the first 5. Don't even worry about the last 15. That's what Warren Buffett said. It's a good quote. I like it. So just be smart, guys. Be smart. Be vigilant. Realize what's going on around us. Realize what the enemy's trying to do with the vax and everything else that's going on that are against our rights. Be on the lookout for the midterms coming up in November. Don't put your faith in a political leader, that's for sure. But just be on the lookout what they're going to throw our way. Like I said, have a rainy day fund ready to go for when prices go up, because they're coming, especially once oil keeps rocking and rolling. It's at $80 a barrel. It's probably going to go to $100 real soon, which means gas prices through the roof, which means airline tickets through the roof, which means food's going to be through the roof. So just be ready, shawty. Get a Tesla or something. No, I'm playing. But all right, guys. Well, I appreciate you listening. Go ahead and give this show a 5-star review on Apple so more people find it. Go ahead and share it on your social medias. Go ahead and just keep supporting the show. Also, bro, if you guys want to contribute to the fundraiser, that'd be incredible. It's thesubiproject.com. You can donate directly there, and you can put what it's for on the website. If you would like to sponsor a child, that would be incredible. You can even choose your child. Let me know. Shoot me a message. I can help you with the process. My boy Mikey's going to do it, which is awesome. Shout out Mikey Musto. You can go to thesubiproject.com and you can find where it talks about sponsoring kids. Hit me up anytime if you are curious about that. I'd love to connect you with the Subi Project, because they're just doing incredible things out here. 222 kids getting educated, empowered, and equipped to go out there and change the world and their communities and Uganda as a whole. As well as, supplying, I think they have 29 people on staff here, giving them steady paychecks and good jobs. So, man, a lot of money goes into it out here. So, please be a helping hand. If you guys want to create your tithing system to be the Subi, that'd be real. That's a real thing you could do. there'll be tangible fruit for your life. All right. So much love, guys. Appreciate you listening. Tell a friend about I Like Birds podcast. The shirts will be out soon. I got word. They're all paid for. They should be shipped and delivered within the next 2 weeks. Appreciate your patience on that. You know, it's kind of a bummer when you have to wait on other people to do that. But at the same time, it's like, bro, they're shipping out like, I think like 50 shirts or something like that. So I don't have 50 boxes or patience to write 50 addresses on boxes. So much love to you guys. Thank you again. Be on the lookout for just more stuff about I Like Birds, man. We actually changed our website. I don't know if I told you guys this yet. Our domain name was coming up to be renewed, and I actually decided to change it to ilikebirdsministry.com. ilikebirdsministry.com instead of I Like Birds podcast. ilikebirdsministry.com, because we're a ministry, bro. Especially since we're out here, man, it's starting to really see that, like, yo, you are the ministry wherever you go, you know, and it doesn't have to just be a podcast. You know, it can be books. It can be the people you're talking to. It could be the sermons on Sunday. It could be the people that you're just chatting it up with and giving your testimonies to. It's like we are a living testimony, you know, and God uses our stories for his glory. All right. So remember that. Never be too shy to talk about God, because remember, he bends down his ear to listen when we talk about him. So show love to the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, the Alpha and the Omega, and make sure you just keep being that light, y'all. All right. Much love to you guys. Check out the episode with Lisa if you haven't yet. Let me know what you think. Haven't really heard any feedback from it, so I'd love to know your thoughts, either about this one or the one with Lisa. Much love to you guys. I'll be out here for another week. Pray for the kid. And don't forget, check out thesubiproject.com. I have the GoFundMe on my Facebook and Instagram link in bio and all that stuff. All right, guys. Much love to you guys. Be easy. Be good. Be blessed. Think about you all. Care about you. My fellow birds. Love you. Bye.